Welcome, folks, one and all, to Let's Do Something a Little Different. This isn't Space Quest 3, and this isn't Neverwinter Nights. This is the Kerbal Space Program, specifically version 0.15.2. This is being created by a very small independent video game creation company called Squad. Started working it on 2011. And this is the epic, shall we say, quest at the moment for the Kerbal Space Program. These are Kerbals. That one is happy. That one is pensive. That one realizes what thing he signed up for. And at the moment, your objective is whatever you bloomin' want. You can design the largest rocket you want with what you've got. The rocket that goes the highest. You could orbit the sun, orbit the planet Kerbin, which is the main planet, orbit the moon, orbit the other moon. At the moment, there aren't any other things in. There are mods. There are tons of mods for this game. But I usually enjoy playing stock vanilla at these sort of things to see how I can do. So, let me show you what I've been doing. I've literally been playing this for a couple of days, but already I have been enjoying this tremendously. This is the space plane hangar, where you can make space planes, which I've not been doing at all. The launch pad, which you can use to launch your ships. The tracking station, and the vehicle assembly. Now, as you can quite plainly see, if we go to here, this is Kerbin, the planet Kerbin, and this is Mun, which is the objective most people go for, and this is Minmus, which is another one, and at the moment, that's it, and there's also the Sun. But right now, we have one thing in a really friggin' weird orbit called the TX Goldstorm Mark IV. Let's see how they're doing. Well, obviously, these people are some of the first people to get into orbit around Kerbin, and we'll see what their mood is like. Come on, people. You can do this. Look, see? They're fine! Okay, they're not very happy. But they're in orbit, and they have fuel left, and it's all good, see? That's part of the ship. Look, we have landing gear. It's not like we're actually going to land. We're probably just going to crash. I just keep these guys in orbit because, you know, why not? They've been up there for 2 days now. They're fine. They pack sandwiches. So we'll go back to the space center and we'll design a new ship. We'll get rid of that one. You can have a Mark I cockpit, a Mark II cockpit, a Mark III cockpit, which is very much like a space shuttle, and the command pod, which is what I usually enjoy making. So we'll design the most basic of rockets here. You've got your various propulsion systems. You've got liquid fuel tanks, basic jet engines, and liquid fuel engines. The fuselage with jet fuel, fuselage with no fuel, a Mark II fuselage, and bits of fuselage. That's for RCS thrusters, which are the tiny little thrusters that you can use to, where are they? Yes, that you can use to get out of the atmosphere. And that is a SAS module, Stability Augmentation System, which is vital for any creation you make, which will, when activated, automatically tries to make sure the ship doesn't yaw and explode. So we'll design the most basic rocket. That is the most basic rocket. That is a solid fuel booster. This fuel booster will activate and will blast for 25 seconds with a ridiculous amount of thrust. So, yep, that seems good. We're obviously designing a new era of space exploration here. So let's go. Let's launch. This is obviously the greatest ship known to man, and there is nothing possibly wrong with it. So let's, obviously, it's nighttime. I never managed to pick daytime for actually launching any of these things, do I? So, we have Milrin Kerman, Kerbal Kerman, and Richie Kerman. They've been my survivors for quite a while. Well, actually they haven't, but, you'll see. Right, we'll activate the SAS. The command module has a basic SAS in it, and 3, 2, 1... And liftoff. Liftoff of the expendable ship. Did I say expendable? Of course not. They are panicking in all heck. Because they know what the Kikoskia Kerbal Space Program's about. So we're just going up. We're going up really fast, I'm sure you've noticed. Excellent! See? We got up to a whole, like, 5,000 feet. And... Well, I'll just activate my parachute. Oh. Oh yeah, I kinda didn't give you guys a parachute, did I? Milrim's a bit worried, but these guys know what's up. They realise that, oh, he's like, yeah. About your survival chances. I see they're all happy now. I've got some bad news for you. I know you're heading down to Earth really fast, and... Okay, Campbell, don't panic, don't panic. Just listen to what I gotta say, Campbell. Just listen, okay? You're going to be... a crater. No, Richie, come on, Milrim, look, we've told your next of kin. You guys will be fine. Look, we're building a giant trampoline. We're building a trampoline, guys. You're gonna be fine. Guys, trampoline, it's gonna work. You're not buying it, are you? No, you're not. Well, it was nice knowing you. God bless all of you. One great leap for Kerbal kind briefly into space. And then you kind of... Yeah, it's getting pretty fast. Don't worry, we designed this thing out of tin foil. There's no way it will possibly explode when it hits the ground. Oh. Well, that was awkward. Well, we can unmodify this vessel very slightly so that it's actually more likely to make sure they live. Like a stack decoupler, which will give this thing a stage. I can press spacebar after this is jettisoned to jettison that off. And we'll give them a parachute. In fact, let's work on this a bit more, shall we? Let's work on this more. Let's actually just get loads of rockets. Loads and loads of rockets. There's a symmetry thing here, which allows us to create different bits. Maybe we'll do that. Like this. And doing so, we shall then attach more rockets. Like that. And then we'll use this wonderful, and I mean absolutely wonderful thing after this decouplers, called a tri-coupler, which lets me attach 3 things. I think you might have realized what I'm doing now. Oh yeah, look at all those rockets. Look at them all. There's absolutely no way that we won't screw this up absolutely royally. We informed the next of kin of those Kerbals. They sort of went, wait, we have family? And it's like, yeah, you do, and they died. So this ship is awesome, and it will definitely take us straight to the moon. I see no reason why it wouldn't. No reason at all. No reason whatsoever. So, we're ready? 3, 2, 1, lift off! See? Look at it. Kikoskia ingenuity, folks. It is the stuff of dreams. The stuff of dreams. We also seem to be yawing a little. That's, it's totally manageable. And then, when this finishes, spacebar decouples them, spacebar activates the next bit. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It's like a really bad version of Blake 7. Except nothing like Blake 7. Oh god. Erfel, Macbin and Thomnard heard what happened to the last people. They're a bit worried. They should be. Don't worry. See? Look. Oh. You know, I thought the parachute would help. We got to 30,000 feet. That's not a mean feat. I mean, That's impressive. Look guys, just because the parachute's upside down, it doesn't mean it can't catch air. I know physics. It'll be fine. So pretty much, your objective is, the first thing you want to do is design a rocket that, like I have there, that's not going to explode violently. I mean, it's very funny to make rockets that explode violently. So, these guys are okay. These guys will actually be fine. So we'll end the flight and go to the vehicle assembly building, and I will show you some of my actual rockets. The first one was the TX Bronze. I made various versions, and the TX Bronze Mist was the first one that I actually had promise with. You could see my thinking. If I stack countless layers of rockets, and then have a small little module on the top, with a advanced TAS and everything, then we'll definitely make it to the moon. There were two versions before this that were even smaller and worse, and it would seem like the couplers broke for some reason. They're working now. Or at least I'm going to make them work. There we go. Don't know why they broke. So, there were 4 versions after this one, and this one was the only one that was vaguely successful. I got a bit too big with my rockets. So we'll launch the Bronze Mist, and I'll show you basically what my my logic was for the Bronze Mist. Here we go. It sort of wobbles slightly uncomfortably. So, Urfel, Macbin, and Thomnard are happy to be back on board, and we don't need a countdown for this one. As you can see, the first stage goes up quite slowly, but that's because it's got countless other stages under it. But once this stage jettisons off, the next one will be higher up, so there's less air resistance, and there'll be less weight, which means it'll go faster. And my logic was, if I can build enough solid rockets, I can just get into orbit. And this gets quite far, I think. I think it's not too bad. We also have actual liquid fuel at the top there, which you can actually control with the throttle. Shift the throttle up, control the throttle down. And you use WASD to roll and yaw and Q and E to pitch, I think. Or Q and E to roll, sorry. That's the second stage gone. As you can see, we're going even faster now, we're up to 2,000 feet. It's not actually as good as the previous design I just made, just on the fly. Macbin is still friggin' panicking, and so's Thomnard. Look guys, calm down! It's good, you're in one of my vessels. How can things possibly go wrong? They can't. Sure answer. They can't! And then we're on to the 4th stage. I feel sorry for the people underneath who are watching this. There's like things raining down on them. As you can see, we're starting to get faster. Now we're getting close to penetrating the first specific layer of the atmosphere. And need a lot of throttle to continue getting out of the atmosphere. But we aren't exactly going to get to orbit. Not with this. This engine, I found out, was a bit too weak, and yeah, it doesn't exactly go very high. And yeah, I'm going slower. If I was to speed this up, we get so far, and we're just still slowing down here. We're at 235 meters a second. We're not going very fast. But then, we slowly get high enough in the atmosphere, and then it starts speeding up. We could actually get relatively far, you think. Now, an important thing to do here is to adjust... Stop! 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 Is to adjust that and DAS and go! When you get to about 30,000 feet, you need to adjust your trajectory, or else you aren't getting a very good orbit. Well, it's not going to make a difference because we are going to run out of fuel before we have any chance to make any awesome orbits. plus the angle at which we are is slowly changing. But as you can actually see, we apopsis, is it? Don't remember that word, but the app is the top of our orbit. We are not yet orbiting because we are slowly descending. I'm not actually liking the fact that we are very slowly descending. We are probably one giant ballistic missile now. Better alter my trajectory slightly. Oh god. Kerbals, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The TAS will help adjust. We're all good. Panicking over there. Okay, this is bad. Maybe we can, if I'm lucky, we can alter it so that we slow our descent. Or just spin wildly. Ah, okay. Phew. Well, the good news is the Kerbals didn't die. Which is good. I hope, anyway. Yay! They're happy now because they're not dead. I'd be happy too if I wasn't dead. I hate the fact that it's currently night. I'm gonna deal with that. And that's one of the reasons why I have the one in space. So I can quickly adjust the orbit. I can quickly adjust what time of day it is in Kerbal. If I make it really fast now. It's a pretty fast orbit, actually. Cannot warp beyond 50, eh? Well, pretty soon the moon will, the sun, sorry, will... No? Oh god, we are orbiting really slowly, aren't we? Is it daytime now? I hope so. I don't want to keep making flights in the night. But anyway. After that, I did some pokey jiggering around, and eventually I came up with the Silver Cloud. The name is blatantly ripped from Tyrium. And the Silver Cloud is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a bunch of solid rockets. But there are these liquid rockets underneath, and I thought, hey, I can totally take off. There were a lot of different marks of the Silver Cloud. This is the pinnacle one, the one that took my fancy. Is it daytime? It's daytime at last. So we have a few stages of solid fuel before we get to liquid. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kerbals are go. As you can see, this makes a mighty boom. There aren't any cities or other pieces of scenery yet. I imagine they will all eventually be added. This is all sandbox right now. I know when the actual game comes out, there'll probably be a sandbox mode, but there'll probably be a mission-based and all sorts of things. So that phase is over, and it blasts off into different corners like that. I like that thing. That was pretty cool. We need some throttle. That's what we need for when these solid fuel boosters fail. Urfel, Macbin, and Thomnard are pretty chill about this. Except Macbin, he's panicking the F out, as he would. And when I say F, I mean Fuzzbard, Because Kermans have a strange language, and I think fuzzbard is what they would say. So, solid fuel, liquid fuel. It burns a lot slower. You can also adjust the power, but why would I want to? I'm just going straight up right now. I have two 500 kilogram tanks on top of each other. Why? Because I want a lot of thrust. A lot of thrust. And I'm terribly sorry that you haven't seen more things violently explode. They will. They will violently explode with time. So far, a little thing, it's not very spectacular. When we get to 30,000 meters, sorry, we will change our orbit very slightly. See, now we're going really fast because we penetrated the atmosphere. 700 meters a second. Then we adjust down. We give that, and we desperately try and alter our orbit. Like, say, that. And then blast off! Wow, that's actually pretty good, actually. Normally I don't get to the 45 degrees angle. As you can see, our orbit is changing slightly. But it's getting wider. It's getting wider very fast, actually. The ultimate objective is that we get to into a nice circular orbit, which is better than this thing's orbit. I'll be amazed if I manage to get into orbit like this. How many more fuel are on my last fuel tanks, aren't we? This could be tricky. But look at how brilliant that's doing. We're nearly out of fuel, aren't we? Yeah, it's empty. Well, we have one more, and it's pretty darn weak. However, oh god, our orbit has changed just slightly. I need to alter this slightly, don't I? Nope, 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 don't. There. All good now, we're back to 45 degrees. As you can see, we are making an orbit. Ultimately, we want it to be at least 70,000 away, or 60,000 away. If it's more than that, then it's not going to burn back up in the atmosphere. Okay, 1,708 meters a second. It's pretty impressive. There's a piece of our debris. It has its own course. It's going to crash land with Kerbin. Hopefully no one is going to horribly die. In theory, I could slingshot that thing over to the moon at some point, but I will wait. It's not important as of now. How much fuel do we have left? A bit. Come on. We could totally orbit. Would be awesome if we could make an orbit where we crash land it with the other ship. But we won't. This final rocket that I've got on here is very small. It's ideal for thrusting in non-atmospheric environments. I can see that our trajectory is altered slightly again. There we go. Back to 45. And we will keep going. Well, we're definitely going to hit orbit, aren't we? We're getting close. It's going to be a bit of a strange orbit, that's for sure. It's going to be a very strange orbit. It's going to be an orbit that I think is mostly going to be up. Yeah, we are like 1 million away. I'm not a fan of this orbit, I'm gonna be honest. It's, kind of sucky. Yeah, if the moon was up there, I wouldn't be worried, but the moon is there. I'm a bit worried for my Kermans. My Kermans are also worried, so don't worry about them. Kerbals, sorry. Yeah, I'm not a fan of where this orbit is going. This orbit is just heading up. Don't worry, it's also heading across too. Pretty soon we might actually have an orbit. But we're also running worryingly out of fuel. I don't know how I got that orbit. That orbit went pretty well. This orbit, I'm getting a bit worried. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Dear God. Okay, stop what you're doing. I've hit a problem. We will completely break free of the atmosphere of Kerbin. You guys should be panicking, because we have broken free of the atmosphere of Kerbin. Okay, let's try and get you guys back. Come on, no, there. There. I'm gonna blast this way. Come on! I've gotta get you guys back to Kerbin. Come on! I could do it! I could do it! I could get you back! The fact that we're running out of fuel is... Yes! I don't want you guys to die! There we go. Whew! That was a relief. Let's fast forward some time, shall we? A lot of time. Yep, we're going to go to 7 bajillion because we are... Whoop, there we go. Yep, we are heading back towards Kerman. I didn't want to show you what the Earth looked like from all the way over there. It would have kind of sucked. And actually, it would have been pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Bugger. Well, we are careening back to Earth. Don't worry, guys. I've still got some thrust left in me. Not a lot of thrust, mind you. Okay. Time to jettison that. Time to activate the parachute. Whoa, that gave me a lot of drag. And those Kermans should be alright. So, as you can see, I can almost get to orbit with that. I mean, it's pretty shaky. If I had a better trajectory, I probably could have done it, but I've not really got the whole orbits thing down yet. So, then I started working on the current models of ships, the Goldstorm, sorry. The Goldstorm 1 just has a lot more solid fuel boosters, but it also has this module on the top here. And we get to the Goldstorm Mark II, which I think the solid boosters, have been relegated to just 1. They barely get me off the ground, basically for these 9 solid liquid fuel engines, and this module at the top here. Then we went to the Mark III. The Mark III, I think, was the death of solid fuel. Yep, solid fuel is gone now. Has been replaced by massive quantities of rockets desperately stuck together with pieces of metal. At this point onwards, I just sort of gave up on doing anything but having massive quantities. But as you see there, I've got RCS boosters and just more fuel. I've got rid of 2 stages for 1 3 stage. The Mark V was where I got the idea, hang on, if I position these things on here and have a separate module, I could then have these and another layer of rockets in the middle, and usually there's a lot of rockets. Currently I'm on the Mark VI. The Mark VI is even worse because as you can see, there's now another stage there, and even more fuel, and even more rockets. And landing gear. And just when I think that if I need it, I have the this tiny bit of rocket here. This rocket's actually pretty awesome. I'll show you the zinc fog. The zinc fog's actually not that bad for how small it is. SAS on, maximum thrust. This goes actually quite high, as there's barely any weight allocated to it. But it's always fun just to jettison them and let them fly off into the distance. Whee! And then just jettison off the parachute for no particular reason. Watch as I yaw uncontrollably. So pretty much I've been experimenting with a lot of things with Kerbal, and I'm pretty sure just by being told about putting this video up, I will get people giving me loads of advice on how to progress, and I would appreciate advice. It wouldn't be so bad. My current design of ship is iffy. I've missed the moon a few times and got into orbit of the sun. If I put another set of three put another set of 3 on top. Give me some much needed boost. I don't know. I just thought I'd show you a little bit of how this game is, and there are brilliant videos of people who have actually got to the moon and got back with the same ship. So, and a vibrant modding community. And so if you're wanting to get it, I mean, there's a free version which is, I think 0.13.3, I think. But if you donate, they call it. If you donate $15, you're counted as pre-ordering, and then you get the current version, which is the one I've got now, and all updates are free, just like Minecraft. And obviously, the more advanced the game becomes, when it eventually gets to beta, it'll probably cost more, and when it actually gets released, it'll probably cost even more. But I'm thinking of designing a completely new, different kind of ship, and if I do that, I will probably catalog its creation, at least to some degree, using YouTube. Because watching failures is almost as fun as watching success. In fact, with Kerbal, it's far more fun than watching success. So, folks, that's just a bit of Kerbal Space Program, just a bit of a video just to show you what it's like and what I've been doing, and how I nearly got my Kerbals destroyed and sucked into a sun orbit. Just those little things and teething issues with me learning, but eventually, maybe we might even get to the moon. I highly doubt it, but we could. So, you might see me with this at some point in the future, but you'll definitely see me later in other videos. So I'll catch you later. The Kerbal Space Program needs you. Are you ready to answer the call?